than I can explain. You've been so good, more than I can explain. You've been so good, more than I can explain. You are blessed more than I dream. You're so good, more than I can explain. You are blessed more than I dream. You're so good, more than I dream. You are blessed more than I dream. You've been so good, more than I can explain. You are blessed more than I dream of. You've been so good, more than I can explain. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. Okay. Good evening, good afternoon, or good morning. Wherever you are, I know one of the above will apply to you. I welcome you to another session. Thank you for those that are already online. Thank you, Redo. Thank you, Isabella. There's somebody else already here, but I'm not saying the name. If you are online watching, I say welcome and I appreciate your coming and being part of today's session. Taiwo, I trust you. Thank you. Welcome. And congratulations on the arrival of a chemist baby. I was so excited this morning when I heard the news. That's very fantastic. Coffee girl, you are welcome. Thank you for watching. If you are watching, let me see you so I can, acknowledge you particularly or specially. Thank you. And let's start tagging our friends. Let's start reminding them it's time for another wonderful session. And I know truly it's going to be wonderful. Yeah. Okay. I'm sure we all know what today's topic is all about. I trust our class rep, our class captain, our secretary. I'm sure she's on standby to start giving us the summary. The topic today is choosing rightly. And what are we choosing? This time around, we're not talking about choosing shoe or choosing bag or choosing car. We are talking about very important aspect of, oh, Kemi girl, you're a darling. Thank you. Oh, see, you're welcome. Kemi Pele, thank you so much. And I'm sure my baby is online too. The first baby on marriage campus. I celebrate you, baby. Thank you so much. Okay, yes, let them come. Call them. Daniel, Ginika. We are waiting for them. And all others. Thank you very much. Yeah, we're already 6 online. That's a very good way to start. So once again, our topic today is choosing rightly. And we are talking about choosing a life partner. It's such an important decision that after the decision of, accepting the Lord Jesus Christ into our lives or serving God, choosing to serve God all our lifetime, the most important decision we could ever take after that is the choice of who you want to spend the rest of your life with. It is a destiny impacting decision that it will influence every other aspect of your lives. It will influence your happiness immediately after you take that decision. influence your happiness, influence your career success, influence your entire well-being. It even influence the destiny of your unborn children. Is such an important decision, and because of how weighty such decision is, if you love your destiny, it is not a decision you want to take casually. So that's why this topic is important, not only you to the single, but even to parents, to aunties, to guardians, to someone there that have somebody around them as a son, as a daughter, as a younger sister that you want to counsel, you want to guide on taking this important decision. This discussion is very important. To me, darling, you're welcome. Thank you so much for joining. So we're going to be talking about necessary steps that we can follow to ensure that we choose rightly. We take this, decision very very serious, and when we follow this step, I am sure that you will take this decision. It will end in, how can I put it in our literal language, it will end in praise, it will end in rejoice. You will enjoy marriage if you follow this necessary step. So the first thing is you need to understand marriage. It's funny because everyone feel that what is there to understand about marriage. You see everybody doing marriage. My mother, my father, they married, my uncles, my auntie. I bet you majority of people that entered marriage do not understand what marriage is all about. So you need to understand the purpose of marriage, especially from God's perspective. That is very important. Not marriage as the world puts it, not marriage from the world, or social media perspectives. God originated marriage. It's only when you understand marriage from God's perspective that you can relate with it very well. You need to know that the way God designed marriage is a lifelong sacrificial commitment. A lifelong sacrificial commitment. If you don't understand marriage, you handle it anyhow. That's why these days some already have plan B when they are having this thinking about marriage. The plan B is like, if it doesn't work, I get out. And because they already have that plan B, it's likely they're not going to take the necessary step. But once you know that it's a lifelong commitment, you're going to take a proper care. For example, which I have said in one of our discussions, if you are going to or for a journey of 1 week, the way you are going to prepare, the thing you are going to pack are going to be different from if you are going for 1 year's journey or a total relocation. Is going to be different. So marriage is like when you are taking a journey that you are relocating from maybe one country to another. You don't even know when you are likely to be coming back. All that preoccupies your mind then is, how am I going to survive where I am going? So you need to understand the purpose of marriage. You need to know that marriage is a covenant. For example, many people take that marriage vow casually. They think it's part of the program. The priest will just say after me, and they repeat. It doesn't touch them. They don't consider it beyond that period. They just take it for granted it's part of the ceremony. It is not just part of the ceremony. Marriage is a covenant, and that marriage vow needs to be well respected and well adhered to. Marriage is a destiny. We've discussed understanding marriage, in this platform, or on this platform. If you need to go through it, go to our YouTube channel. It's also Marriage Campus for Single. We have a topic we discussed, I need about 4 series. Yes, 4 series where we talked about understanding marriage, and we picked all this, one after the other. Marriage as a covenant, marriage as a destiny, marriage as a gift, marriage as a choice. So you need all this understanding. Marriage is a destiny in the sense that whosoever you join yourself with, is going to affect your life for the rest of your life. So you need to be careful. You need to know that the destiny of the person you want to be joined to aligns with your own destiny. You have same purpose. You have same the life God puts in you, or your purpose in life, what God created you to do, align with what that person you want to marry also is designed or created for. Marriage is a destiny. Marriage is a gift. You must appreciate. If you understand marriage as a gift, it will make you to appreciate the gift of whosoever God gives you to marry. A lot of people treat their spouse anyhow because they are not seeing that person as a gift, from God unto them. So if you know that marriage is a gift and it's a God's gift to you and to mankind, you want to treat that person that God brings or brought to you into your life, as a precious thing, and you will not handle marriage anyhow. Marriage is a choice. This one is very, very important. You need to know that you are not marrying because your parents want you to, because the society demands you to, because you just want to feel good, because you just want to be a mother or just want to be a father. You must know the reason, and you must marry for very good reason. It is not just enough to say everybody is marrying, I need to marry, or I'm already 30 years, I'm 35, I have good job, I have what it takes to make marriage work. What makes marriage work is beyond money, is beyond having a good job. You need an understanding of what marriage is. It will help you to take proper decision. And then I will from there be going to the second point, which is self-awareness or self-awareness and self-mastery. What are we saying about self-awareness? You must have understanding of who you are. It's funny. Do I need to know who I am? When we say understand who you are, it means that you know your strength, you know your weakness. This keep occurring in all our discussions. That is to let you know how important it is. You need to know your personality. You need to know who you are as an individual. What makes you unique? What makes you different from another person? What do you stand for? What are your interests? What are your values? Those are the things that makes you who you are. You need to be conscious of this. It is very important. And self-mastery, it's about self-love. You need to, before you begin to even love any other person sacrificially, you must love yourself. Loving yourself means you appreciate who you are. You are not having any identity crisis. You are not, how can I put it? You are not having any issue with insecurity. You have self-control. You can control your behavior. You can control your reaction. You have self-discipline. You have self-restraint. You have what we have talked about here. We have emotional intelligence. With this self-awareness and self-mastery, you have confidence. Any decision you want to be taking, you have all your head. When we do say marriage counseling, when you want to fall in love, you fall in love with your head and with your heart, not just rely on your emotion. So by the time you have self-awareness and self-mastery, you'll be falling in love, or you'll be making your choice of life partner with your head and with your heart. So it's going to give you self-confidence, and it will help you in making your decision because you now know what you want. We have said this over here many times. You know what you want is because you know who you are. If you know who you are, you don't know what you want. A lot of people are there, they don't even know what they want because they don't know who they are. And at the end of the day, they fall into wrong hand and they begin to complain. Marriage is this, marriage is bad. It is because of the way they enter into marriage. Number 3 is very, very important. Pray about the choice of who to marry. This is the God factor, and we cannot never overemphasize it. I had said earlier on, God instituted marriage. It was never man's idea. God introduced that concept. So it's just like when you buy a product and you ignore the manufacturer's instruction. You know you are running a risk of damaging that product and then wasting your money. So there's no way you want to package wedding, or you marriage rather. You want to enter into marriage and put God aside. It's common outside there. You know, even when you go online and go and be checking, how do I take the rest step? How do I know who to marry? They won't even include this part. But remember, this is Christian marriage counseling we give here, guiding you into how a child of God should enter into marriage. So the God aspect of it is very, very important. Remember the case of Abraham, how he told his servant, I'm old, I will soon go. And I know by the time my son will be getting married, you, my servant, you'll be there. This is what I want you to do. And the servant said, this assignment you are giving me is very something, is somehow difficult. I will go to how many miles away? What if the child or the girl or the parent, the family will not allow the girl to follow me? What am I going to do? All Abraham needed to do was to pray. That is in Genesis 24:7. And pray to God. And God actually answered the prayer. The same thing Eliezer, that is the servant that Abraham gave that assignment to. When he also got to the country his master sent him, he also first of all prayed and said, oh God of my master Abraham. And God actually again honored the prayer. And Rebecca came into the picture. We were not told, but it's also possible that Rebecca too had ahead of time been praying towards this stage of her life, and it was a meeting of destiny when he got to the well and to fetch water, and he met Eliezer. So you cannot take God factor out of your wedding or marriage preparation. So you, and then secondly, with all the other aspects we'll be talking about, which we had actually mentioned in the past, you know, compatibility, managing that, there is no way you can know an individual completely except the God that created that person. There's no amount of knowledge before marriage, in courtship, that you want to know that person before you say, yes, I do. There's no amount of knowledge of that person you want to have as compared to God that created him or her. You know, there are, human being evolved. There are some things that you are capable of doing, you don't know until situation, you know. Daniel, you are welcome. Good to see you online. So until the situation presents itself, that the person, even sometimes you do something and you'll be wondering, so I can do this. I never know I can do this. So it's situation that brings what is inside. That's why the Bible says, how do you put it? Where it says, the heart of man is desperately wicked. Who can know it? It's actually who can know it aspect of it that I'm actually talking about. We are not going to be wicked, and we are not going to meet wicked people. But I'm telling you that individually, as people, as persons, we don't know what we are capable of doing until situation prove us. That's when we do. So that's where prayer is very important. That person you are meeting today, in the next 20 years, you don't know he or she will become. But God knows, because he created that person and he knows the end from the beginning. If that person, God knows that come along the line, challenges will come. This person will turn this to that. This is not your way. He will alert you, and that's why it's very important to do to make sure you pray about it. And you don't start this praying when you are now ready. I'm working. I already set my home. That's talking about God now. I have everything. My chair, my television, everything is in place. My sitting room is well set. My kitchen is well set. Or if you are a lady, oh, my mates are already getting me. What next? The next stage for my life, in my life now, is marriage. I'm done with schooling. That's when it now begins to marry. No. Remember, one of the topic, okay, it's even the last topic we just treated on causes of marital delay. We mentioned the fact that people don't get thinking about marriage. They don't get preparing for marriage on time. That's one of the things that cause delay. So this prayer is something that even as before you cross 20, whether you're a guy, whether you're a lady, you should begin to, so far you know you get married, as early as you become conscious that somebody is getting married and I'm so good to get married, you start praying about it. And I bet you it's really 3 work. So when invariably the person appear, you know, it begins to go out, build friendship, you already begin to see some sign, you know that it's like this thing is leading somewhere. You begin to check compatibility. Again, if you are listening, you have not watched or listened to our discussion on understanding compatibility, go to our YouTube channel, Marriage Campus for Single on YouTube channel. We had a discussion at about, I'm not sure we finished in one session. We discussed understanding compatibility. So when the person invariably come, you need to check compatibility, your spiritual compatibility, which we talk about. What does the person believe? Is he a Muslim and I'm a Christian? You know there is problem. If you are even both Pentecostal, Bible believing Christian, you are speaking in tongues and he said, no, I don't believe in speaking in tongues. Or it's like, he's the one who say fasting and prayer and say for where, which kind of fasting and prayer again upon all what Jesus did on the cross of Calvary. You finish all the battle. All is to enjoy. You need to check all those areas. If you are likely to have issue in that area, you check physical compatibility. What are your physical attraction? Is there chemistry, which is the emotional compatibility? Intellectual compatibility. To what level, you know, two people connect intellectually? Social compatibility. There is even one they call geographical compatibility. What does that mean? Is, for example, if you are in Nigeria, maybe you work in Abuja and the person works in Lagos, and two of you are now, either of you is not ready to relocate. This one is saying, Lila, I cannot live in Lagos. No, say, I cannot move in Abuja. Why will I leave my job and come to Abuja? Or you live in the UK and the person prospecting you is in Canada and say, that region is too cold. I can't live there. And the other one say, for where I'm used to this one, no, I can't come and live in UK. You know there's going to be problems. So that's what they refer to as geographical compatibility. Like I said, I won't be spending so much time on that because we've done a whole discussion on understanding compatibility, and I know the regular student here already know what I'm talking about. So when you are checking the compatibility, you need to notice those fundamental differences. Those fundamental differences, you know, when we talk about compatibility, we talk about those things that are important, that are deal breaker. Those who know that are important, but yes, I can relate with them, I can deal with them, you know, with counseling, or I can manage them. You are able to differentiate. What are your similarities? What are your dissimilarities? Those are the things you do to check compatibility, and it's very important. And then the 5th point is you begin to get yourself ready for that stage or for that phase. What do I mean by that? Marriage comes with responsibility, whether you're a man, whether you're a woman. Marriage comes with responsibility. That's why Paul said, I wish everybody can be like me, because for me, as I'm not married, I'm only concerned with the things of the kingdom. But when you are married, you will consider my wife is not, I mean, oh, my boy, Tom, good to see you online. Thank you so much. So you'll be as a guy, you'll be considered, oh, how am I going to feed my family? How am I going to make, you know, to fulfill my responsibility as a guy? And if it's a woman, the same thing, you know, you have to cook, you have to take care of children. Marriage comes with responsibility. So you need to get yourself prepared for such a thing. So how do you get yourself ready? You read books. Most of the time, it's when would-be couple come for counseling. Auntie, somebody proposed, so, or auntie, I'm engaged, though. You not be asking them, how many books have you read on marriage? Actually, I read one. What is the title? What do you even learn from that you know, from that the book, what is the title book? It will be struggle. You need to consciously prepare yourself, you know, towards marriage by reading series of books. Know what area of conflict in marriage. Get books on that deal with such area to get yourself ready. If you are listening to me and you are 25, let me just be a bit fair, and when you are 25 and you have not read at least 5 books on marriage, and you are hoping to get married, I will call you, okay, let me not call you name, I don't know, because nothing readily comes to my mind now, but you are not doing well. Let me just put it mildly like that. You are not doing well. It doesn't show that you understand marriage. It doesn't show that you are intentional about getting ready for marriage. So if you have not, I'm challenging all of you, both you online and those that will be listening to this later, make sure you read books on marriage. You see married books that deals on money, the one that's on getting how to get ready, the one on home management, all sorts of books. You need to get yourself ready. Another way to get yourself ready for that stage, to prepare yourself for that stage, is spend time with married couples. It could be your friends that are married, it could be an auntie, it could be family member. You watch them, you see how they relate. If you can ask, if there is need to ask questions, I'm sure they will be happy to answer your question. Ask them, you know, and especially those ones that are your contemporary, those ones that are your friend that married before you, or your immediate elder sister or your immediate elder brother. Go to their house, see how they are coping. You know, you will see how they are managing marriage and home together and work. You will learn something. Make sure you know, put your mind into that. Then you also work on your negative traits. The whole essence of knowing your strength and weakness is not just to pamper your weakness and say, okay, now that I know you are my weakness, no problem, we can be managing ourselves together. Is to make sure that you work on your negative traits, because like we said, marriage is a lifelong sacrificial commitment. You are presenting yourself to someone in a lifelong commitment, and you don't want to bring, you know, something that will give somebody else headache. Every one of us, if you are thinking about marriage, you are thinking about, I don't want to marry someone that will give me headache. Are you thinking of how you are not going to be headache to someone else? Remember, the Bible says it is better, it is more blessed to give than to receive. So instead of you thinking of having a good person that will not give me issue, you also need to prepare yourself as a blessing for your would-be spouse. And the last but not the least is premarital counseling. It's very important. Premarital counseling. I made an example of buying a product and not reading or not consulting the manufacturer instruction, which is to guide you about the usage of the product. Marriage premarital counsel or counseling prepare you for that phase you are about to enter or start. They are going to tell you, it's a way you have never been before. They are going to tell you the things that you need to know, how to get ready. For example, all this we were doing is marriage counseling. You know, it's better you make good use of them. But this time now is the one you are going to do particularly with the person you choose to marry. 2 of you need to go through some sessions of counseling. They are going to be asking you a series of questions. If you have not known your strengths and weaknesses, then they will ask you for it. They will help you also to appreciate the important step that you are to take. That is what I mean, is that this step you want to take, this marriage you want to go into, this is how it works. This is how it works. They will make you appreciate it. I remember one of my daughters, you know, in church when he wanted to get married, I like, everybody, yeah, we are just telling her negative thing about marriage. I say, it's not negative thing. They're only telling you what you will expect, what to expect, to prepare your mind so that when you get there, you don't get overwhelmed. About 2 years after she has done marriage, I now asked, how far with all the negative? Okay, someone was to get married. And I said, since you know how to give positive counsel to people. Have you helped to counsel this lady now? Because it could be that we are giving negative counsel or negative impression about marriage. She laughed. She said she was looking at the lady and like, I wish she know the step she's about to take. That is it. So you don't just take it for granted. You go for marriage counseling because it's going to open your mind to many things. When you enter into marriage and you encounter some issues, it's not going to be meeting you as a surprise. You have been prepared for it. Not only to know that this kind of thing might happen, but how to navigate it, how to handle it, how to overcome it are the things that you are going to learn when you go for marriage counseling. They are going to give you tips on how to make marriage works. Those are the things you are going to learn there. So it's very important that premarital counseling is beyond. Yeah, they do, a lot of churches, organize it, but it's beyond that. I will even advise you go for professional marriage counseling. It will only be the one you have in church will only be an addition. But if you believe that, if you believe in professionalism, just like if you are sick, you believe I need to see a doctor, or if you want to build a house, you need an engineer, not just a builder or someone that have an idea. I need a profession. The same thing goes, with marriage. There are professionals. There are people that they are well schooled in it, and they will be of help to you. Those are 6 important steps I choose to discuss. It might not be exclusive, or it might not be total. You cannot put it. So that's it might not be all. There are other areas you can see, but these are very, very generic. They are fundamentals. They are very important. Even if it's only these 6 you take and you don't take any other thing, I can assure you your marriage will stand and you have a good marriage. Thank you very much, and I hope this one also makes sense. Thank you. Okay, if you have any question, you can always type in the comment section, and I will respond to it on our group platform. Follow us on our social media pages, social media accounts. Instagram is Marry Bliss Marriage Campus. YouTube is Marriage Campus for Single, and Facebook is Marriage Campus for Single. Thank you very much. Thank you, Tumin. Thank you for coming, and I hope you are able to pick 1 or 2 things. Thank you very much. So we'll be calling it a day now, and we see you. We should do what's next week? Saturday. Okay, we will hear the announcement or the post. Just try and see the post on our group if what we're going to be treating next week, or if we're going to be having a discussion next week. Thank you, Taiwo. Thank you very much. Thank you, Daniela. Thank you for every one of you. Bye.